when you talk about your architecture, you use such words and phrases as fragmenting, layering, rootedness, and creativity, incomplete form. In this conversation, you mentioned incomplete integrity, new experience, and a dialogue with history. So how else would you describe your work, and what kind of architecture do you try to achieve?
I think in general is I want to create a tension between the tradition and the innovation, or I call the creativity. I think this is the if you think architecture is art, it's supposed to be like that. Even for the contemporary artist, if you discover their work, actually is the key is they somehow to discovered the past, and then they gave it a new vision, new idea. I think they take the power from the tradition. When we see the older things, you not want to discover the past nature of a past thing. Actually, you need somehow to perceive or somehow to get a perception from for the present thing, present nature of the past thing. That's what I really want to. Maybe even Heidegger also mentioned. He said, the history is not means past. Actually, a lot of great things or contemporary things hidden in the past. Even the Le Corbusier always mentioned when he talking about creativity or innovation idea for the architects, he said this idea or inspiration is nowhere else. They exist in the past history. I think I really want to create a kind of a tension. It's not only just to create stranger things from outer space. I think if you look at today's city, a lot of landmark building is like a stranger from outer space, right? You feel somehow superficial without a cultural vision, without historical conscious. I don't think this is the right approach. This is not art. This is like a theme park. The building is not a real big architecture supposed to be. So my architecture definitely really want to somehow to bring the rootedness and the creativity together to through my 5 point want to create contemporary things, but also contain the cultural vision, like people to understood and then stimulate people's imagination. I think this is more like a architecture, more like music or like a poetry. For example, I always consider if architecture without historical context, and then people no way can dialogue with you, since people don't understand what the concept and what you're talking about. This is one way. And then another way, if architecture without revolutionary idea or creativity, people also no way they can imagine it. They know everything about the past. I think when these two things brought together, we also feel, oh, this architecture have the tension, have the poetry. Let me understand. Will come in join, but at the same moment, you give me some clue to let me to imagine it, what I understanding about this space, use, architecture, and so on.